Hi and welcome back to Apron Improv. Tonight I am going to show you guys how to make brownies from scratch. This is a very easy recipe. It's one that I make all the time in my house, and my kids especially love to make it with me. So you can get adventurous and add your own toppings and takes on this recipe. Be sure to like, subscribe, and give a big thumbs up to my channel so you can see more recipes like this. Let's start making some brownies. 1 stick of butter into the pan. We turn the pan on to medium heat, adding 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. You can use unsweetened baking squares as well. You could use 2 ounces of that. And we're just gonna let that melt together. Slow-mo. I like to use unsweetened cocoa powder in this recipe because it gives a more distinct flavor. If you use something like semi-sweet chocolate, I think it's almost too sweet because we're adding all the sugar. So would recommend one of the 2 that I mentioned earlier, not semi-sweet. I have a cup of sugar in here. After this is all melted down, I'll add the sugar to it and remove it from the heat. I've gone ahead and preheated the oven to 350 degrees because once we have this all mixed together, it's going to go in the oven for 30 minutes. Other ingredients that I have ready to go are 2 eggs that we'll add right after the sugar, and then our dry ingredients, which includes a 3/4 cup of flour and some vanilla. But that's it. All right, that has melted. I'm going to put it on low. Add my sugar. Mix this together. I'm going to remove it from the heat. Turn your heat source off. Don't burn yourself. I'm going to crack 2 eggs into this, 1 at a time, and stirring after the addition of each one to start. We remove the chocolate and the sugar and butter mixture away from the heat because we don't want to get a scrambled egg into our mixture. So I'm just going to whip this thoroughly. And you'll see a glossy texture start to happen in our mix. One more egg. Same thing with this one. Make sure it's very well incorporated before you add the vanilla. I have a teaspoon of vanilla over here. I'll go ahead and put that right in. See, this is why I love this tiny little whisk. You can do everything with it. All right, so that is in. Now we're just gonna add our flour. 3/4 cup. I already pre-measured. So you'll notice I didn't put any salt into this recipe. It actually doesn't need it, especially if you're using a salted butter. If you were using something oil-wise, like coconut oil, I would probably put a pinch of salt into it. It would come out better because you have to have that balance. You don't want to just eat completely sweet things. So flour is well incorporated. And I've already greased the side of this baking pan. I'm going to pour my batter right down into it. And I'm going to top it with some chopped walnuts. And if you want to, you could put little spoonfuls of peanut butter through it. You could put mini marshmallows onto the top of it. You could add chocolate chips. You could add sprinkles. Anything you really want would work well in this recipe. And this is about 1/2 cup of walnuts. You can give or take whatever you want on top. I like them, so I'm gonna do up my brownies with quite a bit of them. You can also mix this right into the batter. I just like the effect of the look that goes on top of it. Of course, if you have a nut allergy, then do not put these in your brownies. And that's it. And we're gonna bake these into the oven for 30 minutes at 350. All right, so checking our brownies. You know how to do this. This is, you just check to make sure the toothpick comes out clean. I'm gonna let those cool down before I cut into them because they would be definitely too hot to touch. But doesn't that look fabulous? Enjoy.